A Lamborghini Countach, one of the most iconic supercars ever built, was discovered abandoned inside an airport hangar after being missing for decades, not wrecked, not sold, not destroyed. Just locked away behind steel doors, silently aging while the world believed it was gone forever. Imagine this for a moment. A quiet airport on the outskirts of a major city. No crowds. No flashing lights. Just the distant echo of jet engines and the smell of fuel in the air. At the far edge of the property sits an old hangar, weathered by time and almost forgotten. The kind of place nobody checks anymore. Inside, beneath years of dust and silence, something extraordinary was waiting. A Lamborghini Countach. Not a replica. Not a project car. A real, original Countach, one of the most aggressive, outrageous, and influential supercars ever created. A machine that didn't just represent speed, but an entire era of excess and ambition. And for decades, it had completely vanished. For years, the Countach community whispered about it. Its name surfaced occasionally in online forums, buried deep in long threads filled with speculation and half-remembered stories. Collectors argued about its fate. Some claimed it had been illegally exported decades ago, quietly disappearing into a private collection overseas. Others believed it had met a far more brutal end, chopped for parts, wrecked beyond repair, or simply lost to time like so many rare machines from that era. As the years passed with no proof, the car slowly drifted into myth. But none of those stories were true. Because this Countach wasn't hidden behind the gates of a billionaire's estate or forgotten in some remote warehouse abroad. It was sitting quietly inside an airport hangar. Untouched. Unseen. Almost erased from history. Surrounded by aircraft and industrial silence, it existed in a strange limbo, preserved not by intention, but by neglect. That single fact alone is what stunned the automotive world when the truth finally surfaced. To understand why this discovery mattered so deeply, you have to understand what the Countach truly was. When Lamborghini unveiled the Countach in the 1970s, it didn't follow automotive trends, it shattered them. At a time when sports cars were still smooth, curvy, and elegant, the Countach arrived like a shockwave. Its razor-sharp wedge shape looked alien. The scissor doors weren't a gimmick, they were a statement. The body sat impossibly low, wide, and aggressive, resembling a fighter jet more than a road car. Nothing about it was polite, restrained, or conventional. And that was the point. The Countach wasn't designed to be elegant or subtle. It was pure rebellion on four wheels. Lamborghini built it to provoke, to intimidate, and to challenge what people thought a car could be. Every angle screamed excess. Every detail demanded attention. It wasn't trying to be practical or approachable. It was designed to be unforgettable. By the 1980s, the Countach had become the ultimate poster car. If you grew up dreaming about supercars, chances are this was the one taped to your wall. It symbolized success, danger, and unapologetic excess all at once. It wasn't just transportation, it was an attitude, a fantasy, and a warning label wrapped into one extreme machine. But owning a Countach was never easy. They were brutally hot inside, especially in traffic. The cabin was cramped, visibility was famously terrible, and the clutch demanded real strength. Driving one wasn't relaxing, it was an event. Maintenance was expensive, complicated, and unforgiving. Even when the cars were new, parts were difficult to source and specialists were limited. This wasn't a car for casual owners or weekend show-offs. The Countach demanded commitment, skill, patience, and money, which makes its disappearance, and eventual rediscovery, even more unbelievable. A machine this loud, this iconic, and this historically important doesn't simply vanish without leaving scars. Yet for years, it did. Sitting silently in a hangar, while the world argued about what might have happened to it. That contrast, between the Countach's explosive reputation and its quiet disappearance, is exactly why its story still captivates people today. And that's where this story takes a turn. The Countach in question was originally purchased by a wealthy individual with access to private aviation. Someone who used airport facilities not just for aircraft, but for secure storage of high-value vehicles. At some point, the car was driven into an airport hangar. And then, life happened. Legal disputes. Financial complications. Ownership paperwork that was never fully resolved. Storage contracts quietly expired. Over time, no one knew who was responsible for the car. The hangar changed hands, administrators came and went, and records were misplaced or lost entirely. Slowly, the Countach faded from memory. It wasn't stolen, exported, or destroyed, it simply disappeared from public knowledge, locked behind doors few remembered existed. Years stretched into decades, and the car remained exactly where it had been left, untouched, undisturbed, a silent witness to the passing of time. There were no attempts to restore it, no modifications, and no secret sales. It wasn't hidden for profit or preservation, it just sat. Dust collected in layers over its wedge-shaped body, moss crept along metal seams, and the interior settled into quiet decay. In every way, it became a frozen snapshot of its era, a living museum piece trapped in time. By the time anyone remembered to look inside that hangar again, most assumed the car was gone forever. When the doors finally opened, the discovery stunned everyone. There it was, a Lamborghini Countach, still wearing its original paint. The sharp body lines, obscured under decades of dust, revealed the car's sculpted angles and aggressive stance. The interior, visible through the slightly clouded glass, was intact, the dashboard untouched, seats aged but original, period-correct details preserved. Even the smaller trim pieces and badges remained in place, showing no signs of tampering or replacement. This wasn't a decayed shell of a once great supercar. It wasn't a rusted, cannibalized frame or a chassis stripped for parts. It was a time capsule, a rare window into the past, exactly as it had been left. The car told a story not just of Lamborghini's audacious 1970s design, but of neglect, patience, and the quiet passage of decades. Sitting there, unmoved and unaltered, it reminded the automotive world of how fragile history can be, and how extraordinary it is when a legend survives the years almost entirely untouched. Experts immediately began documenting every detail. Matching numbers. Original components. Factory finishes. Everything confirmed what enthusiasts barely dared to hope. This Countach was authentic. And remarkably preserved. Unlike restored examples, which often lose originality in the process, this car told its story honestly. Every scratch, every faded surface, every worn switch spoke of an era when Lamborghini was building cars with passion rather than polish. The value implications were enormous. While restored Countachs already command serious money, untouched examples are in a different league entirely. Collectors prize originality above almost everything else. And this car had it. Estimates quickly climbed into the multi-million-dollar range. But its real value wasn't just financial. This Countach represented something rare, not just a lost car, but a lost moment in time. A reminder of when supercars were raw, dangerous, and unapologetically flawed. When news of the discovery began to spread, the reaction was immediate. Enthusiasts were stunned. Experts debated how such a car could disappear so completely. Historians rushed to piece together its ownership trail. And yet, despite all the attention, the story remained strangely poetic. This wasn't a tale of theft or greed. It was a story of neglect, bureaucracy, and time quietly doing what it always does, erasing what we fail to protect. The airport hangar, once a symbol of security, had become an accidental vault. The Countach survived not because someone planned to preserve it, but because it was forgotten. And sometimes, that's enough. Today, the car's future is carefully considered. Restoration is debated. Preservation is prioritized. Some argue it should remain exactly as it is, untouched, honest, and real. Because once originality is lost, it can never be regained. This Countach isn't just a supercar. It's a survivor. A reminder that legends don't always disappear in dramatic fashion. Sometimes, they simply wait, locked behind steel doors, covered in dust, patiently holding on to their story, until the right moment comes. And when it does, the world remembers why they mattered in the first place. If you love rare automotive discoveries, lost supercars, and the incredible stories behind them, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Because some legends aren't built to be forgotten, they're built to be found.